Hi, today we're going to practice solving multi-step equations. So first we start with bell work. Simplify this expression. Simplify, not solve. Not solve the equation. We're not going to get x equals any number. There's no equal sign. Just negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times minus 4, that's the same as a negative times a negative, which is a positive. 3 times 4 is 12. Plus 2. And then we can simplify this. These are like terms. A positive 12 plus 2, that's positive 14. This negative 3x has nothing to combine with, so it's just negative 3x plus 14. Or you could do 14 minus 3x because the 14 is still positive and the 3x is still negative. Either of those are fine. Now solve the equation. There's an x on both sides. We don't like that. I like to choose the smaller x. That's not a rule. You're allowed to choose either x. But I like to choose the smaller one. I've noticed for myself it makes it easier. So this is a 3 and this is a 5. They're both positive, 3 and 5. 3 is smaller, so the opposite of a positive 3x is a minus 3x on both sides of the equal sign. 5x minus 3x, that's 2x plus 7 equals negative 5, because we still have to include that sign in front. And now it's just a two-step equation. Subtract 7 on both sides and then divide by 2 on both sides. Extend your thinking, fill in the blank, so that when the equation is solved, the answer is a positive number. Okay, fill in the blanks so that the equation is solved, the answer is a positive number. Okay, so here's what we kind of need to pay attention to, is that when we could do a plus 7 on both sides, and that would give us a 10. So that means we need to make sure that this is the smaller number, I think, and this is the bigger number, whatever. I literally just made those up. I just made this has to be smaller and this has to be bigger. So that now when we subtract 2x on both sides, we end up with 3 equals 3x minus 7. Then we add 7 to both sides, 10 equals 3x, and then divide by 3. That's going to be a decimal, but I don't care. We just said it has to be a positive number, right? Then we did some shuffling of teams, and with your new team, in your notebook, you did page 30 of your notebook. You didn't have to do all of them. It was a whole lot of equations, but it was solving multi-step equations. If you want to see the answers, just look up on Canvas, the notebook on Canvas. Then you shuffled for some new teams because, oh, and solve 2 more of these. So you only had to do 6 before, and now with your new teams, you're doing 2 more, so you have a total of 8 done. And then go back to your assigned seats and check those with your regular assigned team. And that's what we did in the notebook. Then some extend your thinking. We want the answer to be 4. So let's just put a 4 here. Does that sound good? If we just put a 4 here, 4 plus 2 is 6. So box times 6 will equal what? We want the answer to be 4. So I don't know, let's just see what happens. Oh, cool, yeah. Oh my goodness. So let's just put anything here. Let's just put a 1 right here. Well, what's 1 times 6? It's 6, so that has to be the answer. What if we put a 2 here instead? What's 2 times 6? So this box would have to be a 12, right? So we could fill in a 2 and a 12. We could keep going. 3 times 6 is 18, so we could fill in a 3 and an 18, right? We could have done that 1 and that 6. All of those would correctly work and get us x is 4. Okay, fill in the blanks so that when the equation is solved, the answer is a negative number. There are a lot of correct ways to fill in the blanks. Okay, so let me just experiment with, like, what if we put in the number 10? What we're really trying to decide is this going to be bigger than 2 or smaller than 2? Well, if we want it to be negative, then we need to do minus 10, so 10 moves over here, which means this has to be small. Let's try it. Like, I just knew it had to be smaller than 2, that's all. So if we subtract x on both sides, 2x minus 1x, that's just 1x, plus 10 equals 5, and now we subtract 10 on both sides, and that gave us a negative number. So that's just an example of something it could have been. Homework, and then exit ticket. 3x and 7x, 1 on each side, we don't like that. So subtract the 3x on both sides. I like to do it because it's a smaller one, right? 2 equals 4x minus 14. Add 14 to both sides of the equal sign, divide by 4 to get your answer. Explain in complete sentences how to solve when there is a variable on both sides of the equation. Well, we just did that. What do? Choose one of the variables to get rid of, right? That's it. Now, I personally like to choose the smaller one, but that's not a rule. That's just a strategy I like. Extend your thinking, fill in the blanks, so that when the equation is solved, the answer is x equals -1. There are multiple correct ways to fill in the blanks. So we could just change that to a -1. Change that to a -1. So now we have 6 times -1 is -6. I don't have any room to write this down. Plus our blank equals 3 times -1 is -3 plus our blank. Now we can literally just fill in, like if I fill in a 1 right there, -6 plus 1 is -5. So what do I have to put there to make it a -5? -2. And that was just because I chose the number 1. You could choose whatever number, and then you just make it work on the other side. That was practicing solving multi-step equations. You got this. Have a great day.